All right, let's continue. This is video number 9. So that's the chain around Morpheus's neck, and that's that one-eyed look, and that's very ominous, folks. Would you really want to? If you can leave, would you really want to? That's your choice too. Just like when you went in for the guillotine up front in that lodge. Now, if you want to leave, it's your choice too. But guess what? In both situations, both times, this will spell your end. You ended the first time, you could end here as well.
I feel I owe you an apology. We have a rule.
Now he's soothing his wound. He's trying to mitigate the negative effect and the try to alleviate the shock that is Neo went into now by realizing what the heck is going on. So now we're back again. Is this Neo the same Neo that entered that room when he swallowed the red pill? I don't think so. But this movie, you could read it either way, right? Here I am certain that this is a matter of being cloned with residual images and memories and so on. But a clone also has a brain, so he now knows what's going on.
You're never free in mind once it's reached a certain age.
Really? Free. Notice the crooked usage of the word free. He frees a mind, right? Once it reaches a certain age. That's like free a mind from humanity, meaningly bring him downward. Just crash them down, and like crash them into nothing, into slavery for Morpheus.
The mind has trouble letting go. I've seen it before and I'm sorry.
Really? So why did you bring him this far if you knew he was old enough?
I did what I did because I had to.
He had to, right? For Morpheus, bringing Neos here and clones and slaves and artificial inseminations and whatnot is a matter of life and death. If he doesn't do that, Morpheus will have no apparatus or no vehicle to conduct his monkey business, his ugly business of, that shapeshifter of ruling humanity and making their life miserable and gulags and starvations and pandemics, and you know what it is, right? And personal dissolution and dissimulation, and he needs all that in order for Morpheus, Rabbi Morpheus, to continue ruling.
When the Matrix was first built, there was a man born inside.
Oh, really? Now this is a story I find very hard to believe.
Who had the ability to change whatever he wanted.
Yeah, who's that man? Would that be God? Let's ask ourselves. Is that whom they're talking about now? Or is it who?
To remake the Matrix
Or is it Adam?
as he saw fit. It was he who freed the first of us.
So he is talking about a disgruntled entity or being or creature who's freed them from anything that's human. Here, the word, you can reverse the word free without any qualms. I mean, you'll be right. This is not free. This is putting back into slavery. Morpheus, stated that earlier when he initiated Neo. Do you remember? Like you are born a slave. Slave to who? To the Matrix, Masonry. But we saw that Morpheus controls Masonry, and when he talked to just earlier, he talked to Neo and told him that Masonry or Matrix is a deep image and so on, and that he had the remote control and he controlled it.
That was the truth. As long as the Matrix exists, the human race will never be free.
What is the Matrix he's talking about here now? The Masonry that he showed you as a TV that he controlled, switched off and on? Or is he now talking about life itself that God created? See, he's playing the game of words. When I think sometimes when he says something about the Matrix, that he wants to destroy it, he's talking about life on this planet. The other is really the masonry that he's talking about, that he controls. So here, but you have to be able to sort it out. My advice to you is really never go that route. If you see someone talking to you like this, uh, Da Vinci Code and shit like that, just take off, walk away in haste.
After he died, the oracle prophesied his return, and that his coming would hail the destruction of the Matrix, end the war, bring freedom to our people. That is why there are those of us who have spent our entire lives searching the Matrix, looking for him. I did what I did because I believe that search is over. It's rest. Going to need it.
All right, here's my take on it. Is that Morpheus now, Rabbi Morpheus, and here I want to say I feel a little bit sorry for him, but I can't. I just can't. Uh, I I just can't. What I think he's trying to talk about is that they lost their way and they got lost in the say in a desert, right? But there's this someone they're waiting for called the Messiah or Messiah, right? That's not Jesus himself as per the Jews. It's not Jesus, right? They have their own Messiah or Mashiach, right? Or Messiah. Uh, and they're hoping for him to lead them out of this situation, this predicament that they placed themselves into. But they became very harmless, right? They're searching for him right and left. I kid you not, if you really wanted, if this was your Messiah, you just made sure he won't be your Messiah. You killed him, right? You're getting his sperms and all, and right? Why? It's just beyond me. I don't know what he's talking about here. But this is like a conundrum. This is very confusing for me. You're waiting for the Messiah, and then you're trying to kill him at the same time, or you decapitate him and make clones out of him. What are you trying to do? Rabbi Morpheus shapeshifter? I do not know, but I do know actually. But all those you hurt, uh, they're not going away.
For what? Betraying.
Uh-huh. So he's a blank machine, right? Now they need to program him and train him and mold his personality, his way of thinking, and they're gonna try to make him a leech and a worm that does and kill and whatever that is. But this whole story, you're being the one, like I said, Sakar, you could be the one, and so on, right? Maybe he's the one, but Morpheus wants to destroy him. And if I was you, I would look closely at that face with ears and so on. That is the face of the devil, folks. And they just want to destroy him, right? Maybe he's the one, but they want to make sure he never succeeds. They want to make sure to stifle him. And they want to utilize his sperms and his genes to create replicas. Ah, look here. That's the look of hate, folks. That is the look of despise, of scorn, of hate. What he's saying as he closes the door of that steel cage around Neo. What is he saying? I got you, sucker. That's what he's saying. That look, folks. That is the look of hate. You're in a corner, is what he's saying. Morpheus, I got bad news for you. The one can move through steel doors. And you won't even be able to do shit about it. Did you see that? Alright, now we have a new arrival here.
Morning. Did you sleep?
Did you sleep?
No, tonight. Canteen.
See, they're entering on him one after another. But outside, they're talking about him and the achievement they achieved, right?
Take me. Come. You're operator.
Ah, here we go. He's gonna be his operator. His operator. Operator. Tank is his operator. What is he then? Right?
You don't have any holes? No. Me and my brother Dozer were both 100% pure, old-fashioned, homegrown. He was born free right here. In the real world. Genuine child of Zion.
All right, genuine child of Zion. So as you can see here, this movie segregates between two different compartments. One that is a genuine child of Zion, that's Jewish. And you know what? You can accuse me of being anti-Semitic all you want. That's what this movie is talking about. That's what this movie is saying. If I understood, if I read this Zion, I told you this Zion means Jewish, and you accuse me of being anti-Semitic, why did you put Zion here? Just put something else, like whatever, right? And then there's the other compartment. So the genuine child of Zion is the operator, the God, right? And then Neo is the operated upon. So he's the machine. Remember when he entered that room on Morpheus? With that, when he gave him that sly smile, there was that electric machine with the headless corpse or torso, as if it is standing on top of it. That's what they're saying. That's what he is. He is here to serve. He is here to be. I mean, he is here to be really treated bad.
Son, what was over tomorrow?
So Zion, he's asking, what's Zion? Here, he just doesn't know what Zion is, right? Notice.
Zion. Genuine child of Zion. Son.
Notice Zion. What's Zion? Question mark. See it?
What was over tomorrow?
He doesn't know. He does. He so far he only understood that the matrix is a control system.
Zion's where the party would be.
The party. I assure you, if there is a party, if there is to be a party, this Neo and his the millions that are his likes, are not the ones to attend that party. They will all have expired by then.
It's a city. The last human city.
Human city. Is that human really? Now, if you look at Tank here and his brother Dozer, okay, if you look at everybody, they're whites except Morpheus, right? Morpheus is a African American, and in their movies, when they show an African American man or a black person, that denotes demon or devil, right? So these guys are multiracial. Tank and Dozer are multiracial. What does that mean? They're the sons of the devils. They're the genuine child of Zion, but their father is Morpheus, and they have some white mothers, right? So they're multiracial.
Where is it? Deep underground?
They're deep underground. I mean, is that physically the assumption made or the statement is indicative of it really being underground physically? I don't think so. Underground here means undercover or something of the sort. You just can't find it, right? Not all people cannot find it. Some do.
Live long enough, you might even see it.
Like, what is it? You might even see. You might, right? Notice.
Deep underground? Familiar?
So, right? So, visible in plain sight. Invisible in plain sight. Invisible in plain sight.
Live long enough, you might even see.
Oh, you live long. Oh, notice, he just cursed God, right? Damn you, Tank. I gotta tell you, I'm excited to see what you're capable of. Oh, he's gonna put him through his paces. Tank is going to extract every last bit of money, of energy, of fight, of ideas, of whatever it is from him. He is going to put him through hell and extract every bit of value from him. And then when he's done, he thinks he can no longer get anything from him. That's when he put him to sleep.
I gotta tell you, I'm fairly excited to see what you're capable of. Morpheus is right now. We're supposed to talk about this.
Oh, Morpheus, not yet, because you're gonna wake him up.
If you are. Very exciting time.
Yeah, he got himself, he hit the jackpot, Tank, on this particular
Got a lot to do.
A lot to do. Oh, he can't wait to start. This dumb. Well, I don't think he has any choice. I mean, they basically cloned him, right? And he's trapped.
I'm supposed to start with these operation programs first.
Operation programs.
This major fucking shit.
That's major boring shit. But
Let's do something a little more fun. How about
I want to show you the look on Tank's face when he looks at him. He hates his guts.
combat training? Jiu-jitsu. I'm going to learn jiu-jitsu.
Notice the eyes of Tank. Did you see it? So you know what Tank is now, right?
Oh shit. You like it, thank you.
So when he says shit,
Sit.
right? So
Sit. Oh shit.
notice what Tank is gonna say when he says holy, you know?
You like
Hey, Mike, he likes it. Cursing God, right?
it, think he likes it. But, oh yes.
Hell yes.
Oh yeah. Promise. 10 hours straight.
He's a machine. Give me a second, folks. So 10 hours straight, he's a machine. So far what we know that is this clone machine, this cloned Neo is considered by all ways and means a machine to be used and abused and put through its paces and extracted from, and
A machine.
so they hit the jackpot with that. He's the one. Now you can see what I'm saying, what I'm talking about. You could probably surmise that they're calling him a sucker.
I know Kung Fu. Show me. This is a spark.
All right, time for some explanation. Sparring program, but then you heard the sound of a drum or that brass plate or something of the sort. Typically, and Chinese, right? Or the signature is that of Chinese.
Program. Similar to the programmed reality of the Matrix. It has the same basic rules, rules like gravity. What you must learn is that these rules are no different than the rules in the computers.
Aha, see? Now what he's saying is there are no rules, right? The rules are,
System. Some of them can be bent,
some of them can be bent,
others can be broken.
others can be broken, so you don't have to adhere to the code of honor or the code of humanity or mercy or family or relationships or anything else. You can break what he's trying to teach him now is you can break the rules. Now that said, what I'm going to tell you is this is not exactly a hand combat thing. What is this? Let me show you.
Understand? and hit me, if you can.
All right, I'm going to make things fast here. I'm not going to dwell on this so long. This is not a hand combat. What is this? Have you read Sun Tzu, The Art of War? Sun Tzu, The Art of War. What he's teaching him here, he's molding his personality as a new machine that needs to be programmed, a clone, of course. He's changing his mind into a deceptive machine. So he doesn't fight by hand combat, but by trickery, by setting up traps, by digging under, by manufacturing evidence, by. You'd see everything that is in the book of Rabbi Morpheus, like the book of, like they say, the book of Satan. He can use by whatever means. So this here is Sun Tzu, as well as ends justify means, or The Prince by Machiavelli, right? That's what this is all about. And notice how he gestures his hands, right? Notice this particular hand as it gestures all along. Did you see that? Did you see that? You recognize that, right? So now he's firmly in the hand of the grasp of Morpheus. Okay, notice here. They will always show you that Cypher is always doing the kitchen. His back is to the group, right? They are all sitting on the table. What he's doing is serving them. Notice, he's serving them. So he's like a low rank monkey, if you will. Notice here, he's flying, right? So he's flying. He really means to harm him. He really means to harm him, but apparently he can't. Also, when you saw Cypher being in the kitchen, as if he's been in the kitchen, his back is to the group. What that signifies, let's go back there. All right, what this means here really signifies that Cypher, as they will always make him look like the villain, the disgruntled one, the low ranking one, that he's not part of the group. He's always turning his back on the group. See, that's what psychologically, if you're watching this movie and you're like a very simple person, that is saying that, oh look, Cypher is always on the periphery. He's always the borderline personality. He's the antisocial. He's the so on and so forth. You see, every time you look, and there is another time when you see him doing this, I'll show you that. But also pay attention to this particular container. This particular container will appear again. I will explain to you what that is a little bit later.
How did I leave you? You're too fast. Do you believe that my being stronger or faster has anything to do with my muscles in this place?
That's right. Now this is a matter of deception. This is a matter of trickery. You don't see them coming. Remember Al Pacino telling Barzoon, I think, about Neo, or the devil in The Devil's Advocate. You don't see him coming, right? I know all that too well. I can relate to that. I can relate to that. Oh, I've seen like a whole host of army. I didn't see them, but I saw them like when it was a little bit late. Oh man, once they attack you, those bats, there's no getting rid of them.
You think that's air you're breathing now?
That's right. Again. Now they show you that Trinity is worried about him. I don't know Trinity's business, but I think You know, I have a moment in my history where there was at work a Trinity, right? Someone who looks like Trinity. Uh, and there was a moment in that Trinity, only one moment in that Trinity's uh, behavior, when I realized that Trinity of the work here in Chicago, had a sincere and genuine concern for me as a colleague. I don't forget that moment. I still remember it very well. And hey, Trinity of Chicago, oh, years back, I still remember that moment.
Christ, he's fast. Take a look at his nose.
All right, he says he's fast, right? Oh, yeah.
Christ, he's fast. Take a look at his neurokinetic.
So he's fast. And my take on this is you, Morpheus, you haven't seen nothing yet. But if you look closely, Tang is very happy, is very excited to see that. Why? Because he's going to harvest now. He got far more return than he thought he would by being an operator here with this particular Neo.
Wait about me. What are you waiting for? You're faster than this. Don't think you are. Know you are. Come on, stop trying to hit me and hit me.
Now,
You know what you're trying to do?
KF is
You're
happy.
trying to free your mind, Neo. But I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it.
What door is that? The door is, he is preparing him to enter a door that nobody ever can or had or will ever enter and survive. That door that he's preparing him to enter, you will see at the end of the movie. I'll show it to you. But yeah, KF had a sincere moment ways back. That moment I still remember. It is fixed, like that sight is fixed in my brain ever since.
Tank, load the jump program. You have to let it all go, Neo. Fear, doubt, and disbelief. Free your mind.
Okay, again you can see the AAP. That's the building next to the metacortex, right? So if you look here, that's the building that was next to the metacortex, and that circular or round or cylindrical building next to it. But where is metacortex building? You see, it's not there anymore. It is not there. I don't know what that is, but that's like LMT. But now you can clearly see the AAP building, which was next to the metacortex building, and that's the circular building. You know, I think I should show you. But the metacortex building is no longer there. Give me a second. So there you have it. That's the AAP building that appeared in the jump program, and that's the circular building. But the metacortex is really not there in that particular scene. You see what I'm talking about here? There's something else I wanted to show you. So here, earlier in the movie, when Neo tried to escape by way of scaffold, right? And then he asked him, how do you know? He just didn't answer. So if you know there was a scaffold, you should have known that the agents were coming. So here, I can tell you that the agents are, in fact, being sent by Neo. There are different type of agents. Now here, in the distance, I want you to see this. When he's out on the scaffold, he's going to fall. What is this here? Citibank. Citibank. You see it? Citibank. Now, when you owe some money, you're trapped, right? You have to pay it. So don't be as stupid as to just fall for taking money for free. There's nothing in this world is for free. I, on the other hand, when I was young, I was like 19 when I landed in this country. Came from home, came from Syria, Homs, Homs, Syria, and landed in Houston. Right? Could I be cloned? Oh, by now I'm suspicious, right? So there was something that I never heard of before or never seen before called credit cards, right? And the credit cards you apply for and they give it to you. So they gave me credit cards, preferred, whatnot, and so on. And I didn't know. I started using them. I just bought books, right? On them. Really didn't buy anything else. Wasn't much. The amount wasn't much. At one point, I realized I made a mistake. You know, I would pay the minimum, but you would be paying forever, right? And one day I looked at my statement and the interest rate was 21%. I still remember that from Citibank. So at one point, having a menial job, I faltered, right? I was 19, 19 and a half, maybe 20, I don't know, right? But I was young and I didn't know. There was no parent or a guide or a mentor to tell me, hey, be careful of that, right? You know, so I was on my own, and I was basically blank of any experience of any real knowledge, right? Or transferred or learned or otherwise. So basically, I faltered paying this bank, which I don't recall, yeah, and the amount was very not really big, right? And I owed them that money, right? And eventually, what happened is here what happens is there is the world that you don't know, meaningly. They never tell you. But when they trapped you by this money, they owned you. That's it. You may say that's not right, but it is right. You see, your brain, you have to work out your brain. That's why Morpheus, Rabbi Morpheus, the shapeshifter, always capitalizes on you. They trick you. They throw a bait, right? Such as a credit card or something of the sort. And you may think you didn't pay, you got away with it, right? But hey, guess what? You're owned. There is something behind that you don't see that makes you owned human being. But I said that. Now let me say that eventually my ledger was more than paid by in full. And now my ledger in this country is positive for me, way positive for me. Now, right now, they're trying to siphon off $1 from me right and left. I don't want to put some details around that, but that's a different subject altogether. All right. So here you go. When you get your credit cards, guess what's going to happen? Now, some of you have learned or heard that if you don't have credit, you won't be able to buy a house. And when you buy a house, you're like you buy it for 30 years. By the time you finish paying it off, you're like, 9 years old or something? 90 years old or something? It's useless, right? So they own you. Although there are dollars and so on and so forth, they own you. Once you go into the banking system, once you borrow, once you buy loan and interest rate, that's it. You're on the rest of your life. If you think about it, the luxury you enjoy is really maybe a better bed or maybe a trip on a vacation or better food. That's that really. Everything else goes back into the system. It's better for you. It's better for you to use cash. You have to let it go, all go, Neo. Fear, doubt, and disbelief, right? What does that mean?
You have to let it all go, you know. Fear, doubt, and disbelief.
Fear is when you, what he's trying to say is when you're about to hurt someone or steal someone's money while they're not looking or fabricate some kind of a landslide for them where you by inherit them illegitimately, or harm or hurt or drop a ordinance on civilians, or what, or lose that fear, lose your humanity. You have to let it all go. That's fear of you harming another human, fellow human, or family member, or whoever it is. Doubt, don't doubt it. You know, like having doubts or vacillation or shilly-shallying about doing something really bad, that's bad. Disbelief, what is disbelief, right? Disbelief is you don't believe that this particular something is really wrong, right? Uh, Disbelief meaningly believing something is wrong, an act or a deed is wrong. You just, what he's trying to make you here is this particular person that is announced or illustrated in the undertone of this book. Again, if you adhere to this book, or if you become a person of this book, you will be Jeffrey Epstein, you will be Hitler, you will be Stalin, you will be Mao Zedong, you will be Assad, Ayatollah, Castro, Loeb and Leopold, son of Sam Berkowitz, and Jeffrey Dahmer, and everything that is a bad person, John Wayne Gacy, all of those put together in one person, and more. Trust me, folks, you don't want to be the person that is really in this book. So that's what he's trying to make him. You know, the last touches is really to strip him from the last traces or traits of humanity in him.
Free your mind.
Free your mind. And then you fly, right? Jump from one building to another.
Whoa. Okie dokie. Feel that one. What if you need to? No one's ever made the first jump.
No one ever makes the first jump.
I know. But what if he does? He won't.
Yeah, Trinity has a sincere moment there.
Right.
One moment, I remember that.
No problem. From my mind. From my mind. Right. What does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything.
Everybody.
Hey, look at the outsider or the outcast. Outcast. He's gloating now.
Falls the first time. Right, friend?
This guy, Cypher, will give you the correct assessment and advice, the right advice about what's going on in there. That's the cortex. Why is Morpheus on a cortex? Because he's not. He's like as well. Maybe it's a. This is the cortex that control the other cortexes, the metacortex.
I thought it wasn't real. Your mind makes it real. If you're killed in the Matrix, you die here. The body cannot live without the mind.
All right. So now we come another full circle, different circles in this movie. Here, I want to explain to you something that is known. It was taken from the scholars of Islam, and it was also twisted and given a meaning. We don't know. I don't know if it was twisted or not, but here's what it says, those old scholars. Remember that Morpheus that I showed you, that Egyptian Morpheus in the earlier video? it says demons can shapeshift, right? They materialize or they manifest as, say, human beings, as cats, as dogs, mainly black cat and black dog, right? Some of that is fabricated, right? But they do materialize, right? And sometimes they float through walls and whatnot. But it's been said, those scholars say that they can only manifest for a certain time. Why? Because when they manifest into a body or into a physical being, whatever that physical entity is, they are subject to the laws of physics, right? So if they're stabbed, they die. If they burn and right. So here, when they manifested into the other program or whatever that is, right? Uh, Took his first taste or and his first ride among civilization, right? Did you see the jump was in fact in a city, right? In a city with people and so on. So that's what that is. What they're saying is that's why that guy, the Egyptian Morpheus, I showed you a picture of earlier in an earlier video, I think video number 1 or video number 2, says that those fallen angels or devils, they do actually fall. They do, when they manifest, they try to make that very quick. Why? Because they don't want to coincidentally be hit or hurt while they're there. Because if they do, they get disabled, and guess what? That's it. So that's what that means. Back into your cage. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Mr. Arab here, or probably Muhammad, I don't know.
I don't remember you ever bringing me dinner.
See, I mean, talk about awkward. This is fucking, I mean, this is awkward.
There's something about it, isn't there?
Don't tell me you don't believe her now.
I just keep wondering if Morpheus is so sure. Why are you going to take him to see the oracle?
Morpheus will take him when he's ready.
Okay, let's pause it. All right, this scene is a telling scene, folks. So now Morpheus is standing on one sidewalk, ready to cross on the crosswalk onto the other side of the road. And opposite him, there are other people that are going to cross the opposite way. So they're going to meet somewhere in the middle. I have never seen this before on a stop sign or a walk signal, right? As a walk signal. Red means he's a red devil, and that is Morpheus. So this is here is a red devil, and that is Morpheus. So let's see. And now those guys, okay, let's go back here. Okay, so the red devil is Morpheus. You do not see readily, but he will show as he walks, right? And then, and these guys walking, guys are, they're all dressed in suits. So they're all part of angels, right? They're all angels, agents. Now, there are some gestures here. The only one that is wearing glasses is this guy. So he's a renegade angel, similar to, say, Angel or Agent Smith. But you will notice, of course, there are things here you will notice that the two nuns are identical, which means they're clones of some nun. So Rabbi Morpheus stole a nun from somewhere and cloned it. Or you know what? He cloned it from the Pope. He got he got the Pope to ooze out some of that genetic material, and he started making nuns out of it. All right, but keep noticing. Notice, as they walk, they all bow down toward Morpheus. Why? Because Morpheus controls the whole posse. He doesn't just control the other part. He controls those as well. Now, pay attention to this particular man here. This particular guy here, pay attention to him. He bows down to Morpheus. Just check it out. Notice. Did you see it? Did you see it? I'm going to replay it for you. And Morpheus now is walking like a rabbi. Here, always, I don't know what it is. Rabbis usually tie their hands behind their back. Notice this guy. Did you see? Did you see how he bowed down to him? Now try again. Let's try again. Notice this short guy. This guy. Did you see?
The Matrix is a system, Neo.
But the guy with the sunglasses bumped into him. This is the rogue agent or angel. So he's not under control of Morpheus.
System is our enemy. When you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters. The very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy.
All right. Your driver's license. Pull over.
You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system.
Oh, remember the lady in red when he was arrested by the agents? Here's what I'm going to tell you. That scene in the building when Neo was arrested is the same place where this act is taking place. You will come to see that. So now I am thinking the arrest by the agents was really a program, part of this reality, whatever he called it. Notice this girl. Keep looking at this girl. Well, not now, but remember her. It'll show later. I think it's the same girl that was in the office earlier.
Neo? You're looking at the woman in the red dress. I was. Yeah.
Freeze it. All right. So now you're gonna see a lot of doubles, right? So there's this guy and this woman here. You will see him again, right here, here and here, here and here. This guy coincidentally looks like the Bashar Assad, the current dictator of Syria, right? And that's his wife, right? Maybe this is in England, I don't know. So as you can see, they're doubles, right? They're clones. And then here you see these two, right? They're clones. And then you see these two there. They're clones as well. They're not twins, they're clones. That's too many clones. And here you see two of them as well as clones, right? So there are quite few clones here. Many clones, many clones. Let's see where I can find some. But this guy definitely has the profile picture of Bashar, the donkey of Syria. So that's maybe the one who's controlling Syria now is a clone. For all I know, right? Devil clone or something of the sort. So this here, where else? You can look, you could find a lot of clones here. Not everybody is a clone.
This isn't the Matrix. No. It's another training program designed to teach you one thing. If you are not one of us, you are one of them.
So here, as you can see, that's the same building in front of this very particular building when Neo was pulled out of the building by the agents and put in the police car or patrol car and was taken away. And then you can see the briefcases, right? The briefcases is real. Kukukowski's, the architect wants everything, including the dollars. Everything. He is going to make you collect everything back and pay it back and give it back.
Move in and out of any software still hardwired to the system. That means that anyone we haven't unplugged is potentially an agent.
So When you're wearing sunglasses like those, you're an agent, right?
Inside the Matrix, they are everyone.
So as you can see, Bashar has grabbed some money in that bag as well. Bashar the donkey, right? He looks like him.
And they are no one.
That's him here too.
We have survived by
Again, that's behind him, the background. That's where he got arrested.
hiding
Where those banners were, amazing book bargains, drugs, and then pipe, smoke and tobacco or whatever it is.
by running.
So Morpheus runs a lot of drugs.
But they are the gatekeepers.
So the angels are the gatekeepers. And we know that from Islam, right? The story of Islam, when the mission of the Prophet began, Allah or God placed guards around earth so angels wouldn't fly and then listen in and so on. We know that story, it's very well. It's in the Quran actually. Now, the reflection in the sunglasses changes. Now it shows Neo. They are guarding all the doors and holding all the keys. Do you remember when Neo was looking out, glimpsing with one eye out of that door of his in that room where he was, and when Joey came to exchange the goods for money, right? Or the 1967. And basically what they're trying to say here is they're holding the door and holding all the keys. So Neo is the key. So this moment here, this statement is relevant to Neo being in his room, glimpsing out with that key slot in there, right? Right next to his face. You know what? Let me show it to you. So this is what I'm talking about here. This is Neo, the one-eyed monster, an angel, fallen angel, and they hold the keys. And this is the slot for the key, right? The key lock. So that here and what Morpheus just told Neo in the last scene are two relevant things. You know, the creature or the fallen angel and the key. So let me go back to that scene.
It's another training program designed to teach you one thing. If you are not one of us, you are one of them. That means that anyone we haven't unplugged.
So the pigeons here are your downtown pigeons, but I think here in this instance they are flying angels or flying demons.
Is potentially an agent. Inside the Matrix, they are everyone, and they are no one.
So apparently what Morpheus is saying that he controls some angels too.
We have survived by hiding from them, by running from them. But they are the gatekeepers.
They are the gatekeepers.
They are guarding all the doors that
They hold all the keys. Remember what I just showed you about Morpheus and the key lock next to his eye?
are holding all the keys, which means that
Sooner or later,
or later, someone is going to have to fight them.
there you go. Someone is that reflected in his sunglasses.
Someone. I won't lie.
So like I told you, because this is the same location where they arrested Neo and dragged him out of that building into the police car, right? This is where it is. So I am now firmly believer that the arrest and the scaffold scene and so on was actually a simulation program, was run by Morpheus, and then he just trapped Neo. Now look at Neo. He's got like normal eyes, right? So now this scene is really in life itself, you know, downtown. So it's not in any of the dimensions, that of demons or world of demons, or that dimension of angels or world of angels.
Every single
Everybody converges on this life, right? So this life here, as we live it, is the battleground. Is what that is what is being implied in this movie. There's some truth to that.
man or woman who stood their ground, everyone who has fought, one agent has died.
Uh-huh.
And where they have failed, you will succeed.
Really? How the heck do you know?
Why? I've seen an agent punch through a concrete wall.
Uh-huh. They punched through a concrete wall.
Men have emptied entire clips at them and hit nothing but air.
Now I want you to remember this. Men have emptied entire clips at them and hit nothing but air. Remember this particular sentence. It'll come up soon. Why? Because when Neo starts shooting, machine gunning the agents, right, from the helicopter to rescue Neo, they start running away from bullets, right? So if this statement is true, why would a machine gun out of a helicopter fired by Neo himself would affect those agents at all? You see what I'm saying? So here, the Kukukowskis lose track of what they're saying.
Yet their strength and their speed are still based in a world that is built on rules because of that.
Based on rules. Now, breaking the rules per Sun Tzu and in Justify means, and there are worse books than that. Dissimulation, dissimulacra, and dissimulation. Dissimulation, I explained that to you before.
They will never be as strong or as fast as you can be.
Well, why? Because they are keen on being human and dealing with humans, their own humankind, from point of view of strengths, of genius, of quarrel, of friendship, or whatever it is.
What are you trying to tell me? That I can dodge bullets?
Okay, when he said dodge bullets, going back to that Morpheus of Egypt, with the turban, that Morpheus speaks of dodging bullets, how bullets cannot hit a human being. Remember that guy? Let me show him to you actually. This guy here, Morpheus, Rabbi Morpheus of Egypt, right? Talking from the Quran and so on. And in this particular sermon, right there, he speaks of bullets not hitting humans. All right, so now you saw that sermon where he talks about avoiding bullets or how bullets are predestined and many of the points that Morpheus of Egypt talks about confirms or conforms to this movie.
I'm trying to tell you that when you're ready, you won't have to.
You won't have to. Meaning that you're gonna get killed. Remember Cypher? We're gonna kill him. That's what he said. He spoke the truth.
We got trouble.
Okay, few points to make here.
How we doing, Tango?
So they hide from the agents, right? Or their sentinels.
Butterfly.
Red now, they turn red.
Ready. EMP.
Electromagnetic pulse. Disables any electrical system in the blast radius. It's the only weapon we have against the machine.
Beret, right? The beret, typical Zionistic hat, right? When they want to fight or subvert or things of the sort, or instigate anarchy in society. So sewer and waste system, service and sewers, right? Why are they in the sewers? Well, because we know again from the religion of Islam that demonic entities who are out of what's called jinns. Now, angels in Islam are made of light. We humans are made of ancient organic clay, such as bacteria and minerals and so on. Organic clay meaningly, a pond that has become, a wet clay that has become organic in nature, such as fungus, such as so on and so forth. We're made out of clay, right? Bacteria, and you name it, right? All organic matter. While jinns are made of smokeless fire, right? But in Western or in Jewish tradition, they're all fallen angels. In heretic movements, everybody is fallen angel, right? But in Islam, it says that those demonic entities that are rebellious, or demonic entities in general who are made of jinn, they live in the sewer. and their food is part of the sewer, right? Or droppings of uh, livestock or animals or camels or cows or something. Now you may get insulted by that, why? And first of all, I was like, why would they want to do that? But guess what? Maybe they take the bacteria, maybe they take certain nutrients from it, and so on, as it's been proven that our microbiome gut system is the most crucial part of the body, right? And hence, that's where they live, right? So now this here confirms to me that this is where they live. But that brings me another full circle. So we got quite a few circles here. When Tank told uh, uh, Neo that it's deep underground near the Earth's core, what's he talking about? Is he talking about this here, the sewers? It's just mind-boggling, folks. So now I am back believing that, physically speaking, that's where Zion is. It's really underground. And in Islam, Gog and Magog are perhaps, as described, they live underground, right? So it's not stated directly, but there is a hint of them having living underground, right? So Zion here could also be Gog and Magog, right? Why they call it Zion, I don't know, right? Uh, so it's hundreds of miles and so on and so forth. And in the next movie, Reloaded, or whatever it is, Matrix Reloaded, they say something about, they have a dancing celebration and so on underground. So that may also be really physical, right?
It's been hundreds of miles. Now these sewers are all that's left of them.
Quiet.
All right, I'm going to freeze it here. So the Sentinels are apparently, they are sentient machines, like artificial intelligence, and they got 2, 4, 6, right? They're weird looking, right? But also remember, in that incubation drome where Neo was cloned and then he got out of that pod, there was that very similar machine that floated down in the air and then clasped around his neck, right, choking him really bad and making him, removing the connections from him. It looked pretty much like this. So, can we say that angels have their own sentience that are this here, right? And then Morpheus and Zion have their own sentinels, the ones that go and maintain those incubation pods and then release cloned individuals into the sewer. Okay, that's Cypher all by himself. Now notice there are 6 here, 6 monitors, and there's 1, 2, 3, another 6, but it's arranged as to count 1, 2, 3, right? And then he's gonna switch them off. Why? Because he doesn't want to see anybody that he here now is communicating with the agents or angels. So again, that's now I'm pretty concluded. I have very much concluded that from the motion of this movie, and the flow of events, that they mean by him either Arabs or Muhammad, and the agents supposedly are the Anglo-Saxons.
No!
So he's startled, right? So he's doing something bad.
Neo. You scared the bejesus out of me.
Yeah, he doesn't believe in Jesus either, right? So he called him Jesus when he was supposed to be Son of Man or Jesus. Personal, for Joey, Neo is a personal savior, right? He gave him everything and all. For Cypher, who's going to tell him what's going on, right? And confess to him the truth and try to wake him up and put something real in his mind, they say that he's calling him Jesus, right? Now, notice, they will never tell you that Cypher is wrong. Really? They will never tell you that Cypher is wrong. They just try to stereotype him and portray him as this weird individual and so on. But if you listen carefully to this guy, he's telling you the truth.
Sorry.
Okay.
Is that
The Matrix? Yeah.
do you always look at it in coding?
Well, you have to. The image translators work for the construct program.
I don't know what that means. Well, what it means, let me speculate that the image translator and the construct program, that construct program, right, is what is something that Morpheus and his minions created and programmed, and then the translator works for the construct program, the one that they just were in Morpheus and Neo, right? So this here is really Morpheus, right, and his screen of Matrix.
There's way too much information to decode the matrix.
True, you cannot know what's going on in life. It's too vast, right?
You get used to it. I don't even see the code. All I see is blonde, brunette, redhead.
Guess what? Now they stereotype him again. All he sees is sex, right? Nothing else is what they're trying to say. In life, what they're trying to say that a cipher sees red head, blonde, and brunette. That's all he sees, right? His interest in life is really women.
You want a drink?
All right. Now that container would be, right? Would be what you saw earlier in the room when Morpheus started fighting Neo, and on the table there was that particular container. I have knowledge of that container when I was very little, right? When I was young. Back home in Syria, there are no pipes, there are no gas, there's nothing really. What they've done is a truck, sometimes a tanker, small tanker, believe it or not, pulled by horses, right? It's like horse, right? And that tanker had diesel in it, and he went into the neighborhoods, right? And then you went out and bought diesel from him. What do you do with the diesel in the house? Because that's what the heater, winter heater, like house heater, worked on. It's not a radiator. It's not an air condition that produced hot air. It was really a diesel powered burning diesel, burning stoves, and then you put it in the middle of the room with pipes to let the smoke out from the wall, right? An outlet in the wall. That's how poor Syria was under those Assads and their likes, right? Or donkeys for that matter. So that contains diesel, right? To me, that's a diesel container. And why was it like this? Is because it also measured, right? So we called it Tanaki or Tanak, right? And that's an Arabic name for whatever the Arabs and them used to go into Britain, like in the ancient times, and then with their ships and in their ships, and then get Tanak out, right? Import Tanak into the Middle East. So that's what it is. But he tells you what that drink is all about. Just give him a second.
I don't know what to think. 'Cause right now I'm thinking the same thing. Actually, I've been thinking it ever since I got here.
He's trying to recruit him now. That's what they're showing you. But now I can tell you he's telling him the truth. He said it earlier.
Why, oh why didn't I take the blue pill?
While he's wrong, taking the blue pill is no different from taking the red pill. Why would you want to take a pill at all if you ever want to leave?
Good shit, huh?
Now, they give you a moment uh, uh, of sincerity about Cypher. So he's a cool guy, right? Notice.
Those are me.
He's got like a sense of humor and brotherly and so on. Those are makes it,
Good for
right?
two
In
things.
Zion, good for two things.
Degrease an engine.
Degrease an engine. Did I tell you about the diesel container? So here, when you drink the stuff that those are makes, you're really keeping your mind shut or degraded in performance because it damages cells and right. So it is the stuff that kills.
Killing brain cells.
It's diesel, right?
Oh. So, can I ask you something?
They give it to you in small quantities, so it won't kill you, but it'll keep your brain in a dysfunctional mode.
Did he tell you why you did it?
Did what?
Why you're here? Jesus.
Now he goes Jesus.
What a mind job.
Yeah, right. Do you recall? Throughout the movie, as I pointed out, and if you go revisit it again, watch it again, you will come to see it's a mind job. He did a mind job on him.
So you're here to save the world.
So now they're trying to stereotype him again. Here, he's saying, you want to save the world. Well, we all want to save the world, right? This is the world we live in. But not Cypher. According to them, not Cypher. Believe me, with whatever Cypher said, he is trying to save the world.
What do you say to something like that?
Although nobody, or no individual would be able to save the entire world. Period.
Little piece of advice. You see an agent, you do what we do. Run. Run your ass off.
Thanks for the trick.
Sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams. Now Morpheus is preparing someone for some suicide mission. And if you decipher here, if you have the means to decipher the code here, reversed and upside down, or reassemble the characters into sentences, it'll say something to you. I kid you not. Now that's a beautiful steak. I cannot underestimate. I mean, I can taste it even here. There's some parsley on the side as well.
Do we have a deep?
No wine for me. All right. He's wearing green. Right? He's wearing green. So he's green. He's a Muslim. And here is what you call the crescent moon, and his mustache are showing crescent moon and a star within it, right? But the fact is very simple. Crescent moon and the star, the five-pointed star, is not something Islamic. It's anti-Islamic.
You know, I know this steak doesn't exist. I know that.
Let's go back.
In my mouth. Sweet dreams.
Do we have a deep?
All right, do we have a deal, Mr. Reagan? Right? Give me a second. So the word Reagan here could be Ronald Reagan because Cypher wants to be an actor, right? But I have another idea, and that's this. Reagan here is really not but Reagan, not Reagan, but Reagan. The subtitles probably mistranslated it because it's automatic. Who's Reagan? I'm not going to describe or put a lot of details around this, but that would be Blair, right? The actress of The Exorcist. Exorcist. Do you know who I'm talking about? Linda. I think her name is Linda. So this is Reagan. This is not Ronald Reagan. You see what I'm saying? Good, good, good. We're getting somewhere here.
You know, I know this steak doesn't exist. know that when I put it in my mouth, the matrix is telling my brain that it is delicious. The matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy
The steak does exist.
and delicious.
Somebody here is trying to twist your mind about uh, being virtual life and being in virtuality and so on. Just don't buy that, folks. I told you earlier in this video, in the series, that if you are virtual and I am virtual and we are converging on the same space and time, or time and space, right? And then we see each other, that's enough reality for me. I don't need to research or try to sense anything else. Well, virtually speaking.
After 9 years.
9 years. Now I want you to notice, why did I say Linda Blair and The Exorcist and Reagan are EGAN, not Reagan? Observe the reflection in the sunglasses and you will see there are two different sets of eyes. So there is the agent's eyes, and then past them or in front of them or next to them there are there is a set of eyes. That is either a reflection of the eyes of Cypher or perhaps the eyes of Linda Blair put here. Maybe, I don't know. You see them? Keep
You know
watching.
what I realize?
You see them? You see them? There are two eyes here and two eyes here.
Ignorance is bliss.
See, that's how they stereotype him, right? Now, I don't know about the harp. Harp, I've seen now. When in tradition, when people die, they play the harp as they rise into like heavens or something, right? Do you remember Sylvester the cat riding on a cloud and playing a harp as he went to heavens after he got killed by something in the cartoons? There you go. And this is not. Some other people noticed that you'd see the two agents watching. Their reflection is in the windows, right, and on the glass of the windows. So this is luxury here. You'll never have in the Matrix. Also, I don't know what that is. Like there are two red things here underneath. Some kind of things, and then there are the two agents' reflections in the glass, windows glass.
Then we have a deal.
I don't remember nothing. Nothing. You understand?
And you notice the eyes, the two sets of eyes.
I don't want to be rich. Someone important. Like an actor.
You see them again.
Whatever you want, Mr. Reagan.
Again, that's not Ronald Reagan. That's Linda Blair in The Exorcist. Reagan.
Okay.
And he's wearing that green shirt. Now, I don't know what that is here, really. Sounds to me like some kind of a Christmas toy or something of the sort. You don't see it like throughout the scene. You just see it here, right? And you see that steak. Man, what would I do for that steak? And olive oil. Yeah, he's Middle Eastern. See, olive oil. He got olive oil. Now, the wine, I don't think he's drinking wine. Notice. The wine, glass of wine, is closer to the agent. I don't think he's drinking wine. I don't know. Maybe he is.
My body back in power.
And cigar. So he's from Cuba too, right? All the telltale sign of him being an Arab.
You insert me into the Matrix. I'll get you what you want.
Notice that toy has disappeared.
Access codes to the Zion mainframe.
No, I told you I don't know them.
Notice the eyes, reflection in the eye sunglasses.
I'll get you the man knows.
Morpheus.
Oh, big deal. All right, look at that food. And again, you will notice that
Ain't nobody breakfast champions.
notice they're all sitting down except Cypher. He's in the kitchen.
Breakfast champion.
There he is. What they're saying is that he's doing his own thing. He's not part of the group. He got his own agenda, right? He got his own thing going. And the look on Dozark's face is a bit interesting. Notice he's looking at the ball of snot that Neo is looking at. Watch Neo as he inspects his spoon.
Close your eyes and it feels like green runny eggs.
Oh, snap.
You know what it really reminds me of? Tasty wheat.
What is this about food and runny eggs and ball of snot or whatever it is? Here in Zion, you don't get to enjoy luxuries. Why? Because according to them, they don't exist. You know, it's virtual, right? So whatever you need, and Dozar is going to answer that for you. So again, we saw that Cypher is his own thing. You know, he's the borderline personality. He's the guy on the periphery. He's outside of the group. He's the outcast. He's what? He's what? He's what?
No, but technically neither did you.
That's exactly
Yeah, because nobody knows what that tasty wheat
my
is.
point. Exactly. Because you have to wonder now. How do the machines really know what tasty wheat tasted?
What does he mean by machines? Well, Neo, remember what Tank called him and what they called him? He's a machine. So machines don't know what taste is. Because taste, it doesn't exist. Remember what Cypher said when he was eating the steak? So here is a justification for what they are trying to do. When you're part of that world, you're machine, not part of a machine and servant or slave of that world. You only get to eat ball of snot and runny eggs and anything else. What you could do is imagine the taste of anything else.
Maybe they got it wrong. Maybe what I think tasty wheat tasted like actually tasted like oatmeal or tuna fish.
See, you just imagine the taste.
That makes you wonder about a lot of things. You take chicken, for example, maybe they couldn't figure out what to make chicken taste like, which is why chicken tastes like everything.
Tastes like chicken, right? You're not going to that restaurant where you eat that red looking beautiful steak.
And maybe they can figure out.
Poor mouse.
It's a simple sort of protein
Okay, it's a single-celled protein
combined with synthetic
combined with synthetic aminos, vitamins, and minerals.
aminos, vitamins, and minerals. Everything the body needs.
Everything the body needs. So this is a communist concept. Concept of communism. What that means is this. You consume your needs, right? Like food, like a small like rundown or squalor a coop of chicken to sleep in, and then you of course reproduce and then give all values as a copperhead, headless torso, like a machine. Give all that to Morpheus and Dozar and Tank, or to Zyra. That's what this is saying, really. This guy has an agenda. Notice. He's the look. They make him look like that to say he's sly fox, or if it's a girl, we say sly vixen, right? Sly fox, wily. He's got something, but he also got the lipsticks. Remember, he's sexless.
So I understand that you've run through the agent training program. You know, I wrote that program.
Here it comes.
So what did you think?
So he wrote that program, the one that Morpheus showed him around that fountain in the square in whatever city, and then at the same time, when he got arrested, that was a simulation program, really. Oh, so they tricked the motherfucker.
You can look at your ass.
Uh-huh.
I designed it.
So it's virtual, asshole. What are you gonna do with that?
She's young. Well, she doesn't talk very much, but if you like to meet her, I can arrange a much more personalized villain.
Digital pimp hard at work.
I
Pay no attention to these hypocrites, Neo. To deny our own impulses
Why do you need to notice what he's saying? To deny our own impulses makes us is to deny everything that makes us human.
the very thing.
That's how we reproduce, right? We're human. We continue by that thing, right?
That makes us human.
Notice, when he says to deny everything that makes us human, he's talking about sex, right? Notice Neo.
Those
Inspecting the spoon. Did you see that? But notice all the spoons around here are really bent. They're no longer straight, right? They're broken spoons and forks and whatnot, right? And when Mouse said what he said about makes us human, Neo inspected the spoon. So here, the spoon in this movie will come to mean, sorry for saying so, the peanuts of a man, right? But I'm gonna return you a little bit back.
those are hot when you're done.
Notice, I'm gonna try to see. When Mouse said that to deny our own impulses is to deny everything that makes us human. At the same time, he is glimpsing at us, the audience, right? The audience are watching and he's looking at us. But notice everybody else in the room look down on their food, right? They're either inspecting the spoon as Neo does, right? Or there are two points that the Kukukowskis are trying, or that world behind them who wrote the script are trying to say. When they heard what he said, there are three things here. One is they have a secret because she told him, remember Switch telling him digital pimp at work? But now they all, as if they all have a secret to hide, right? That's number one. Number two, as if they're saying, right? As if they're saying, they're thinking about what he said, right? Why deny our own impulses when it makes us human, right? The third thing is they're looking at the spoons. If you look at Dozer's spoon and every spoon, they're bent. And like I said, a spoon in this movie means penis, right? That's how we reproduce, right? But they're all broken. And now they're thinking, we cannot do that, right? Now notice Neo. I'm gonna repeat Neo again. When he finished what he's saying, when Mouse finished what Mouse is saying, observe what Neo is doing. And Mouse is pointing his finger as well.
Pay
Notice.
no attention to these hypocrites, Neo. To deny our own impulses
Notice.
is to deny the very thing that makes us human.
Observe Neo now. Look, Neo is inspecting the spoon.
Bring the ship up to broadcast depth. We're going in. Taking the other signal.
Uh-oh. Now, awkward cipher. I will trust this guy over anybody else in that set, in that world, any day, anytime.
See you. Mark.
All right, so I'm gonna stop here for this video. And guess what? I think we had a lot to cover today, but there's still much to go on and to cover in this movie. Oza's commentary keeps going on.